Greetings everybody from within the simulation, within the matrix. I'm Richard Ó'hAllmhuráin, Ó'hAllmhuráin, and I've been recording videos for a few years now. I think it all started around 2012. They're primarily about the simulation, also known as the Matrix, as depicted in the film. Great film, not completely accurate of course, but the Matrix is real and it's run in underground bases. Who runs it? The Draconians. The Draconians once told me that I'd never seen the sky. That was something I pointed out when they told me that I was underground. They tell me that's not the sky. Anyway, with this particular individual, because they are individuals, these guys. Yeah, we were in like Hollywood rock and roll, traveling around in you know, I think they called them telepods, like teleportation. Time travel comes into it. It was all very traumatic, you know, but that's part of the system. You have to be mentally tough to be able to deal with these Orion guys, because they're cold, you know, unlike mankind. It gets into social distancing, you know, it's an attack on mankind. I like to point out that these Draco men, they could go solo on an expedition for 100 years, because they live beyond 5,000 years. And in Irish mythology, we're talking about the Ó'hAllmhuráin, Irish fairies. I'll come back to mythology in a second. I hope I remember it, because I wanted to talk about the Nordics. So I've met this guy, tall, muscular, blonde fella. I believe he was with one of the Nordic, you know, you could call them teams, whatever. They come to Earth, they get involved. So the Draconians, they're afraid of the Nordics. Now I could be wrong, but Sirius is one of their planets. You know, the tall blondes, as they're also known. So it was very sad business on Sirius. They tricked the Draco men, and well, we won't go into that in too much detail, but suffice to say that the Draconians are still on Earth with mankind. So yeah, mythology, it goes that the Ó'hAllmhuráin, they were banished underground, and you know, of course, in Irish folklore, you have to be careful not to end up underground with the fairies, which is our situation. And they tell me it's all secret. I'm taking my chances recording these videos. I hope that I haven't got any of my connections into trouble. The good thing is you'll get out of it. I mean, if one of these Draco men threatens you, I know people, so I mean, I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but they're afraid of some of us. And right, so that's the Orion group, of course. There's a star constellation of Orion, you know, Orion's belt, and beyond that area, the Draconians, and they would tell us, you know, it's a tough neighbourhood, that things could be a lot worse for mankind. And yeah, we want freedom, but there's a lot of fun to be had in our current situation. So yeah, Irish mythology, the Milesians came along and banished the Ó'hAllmhuráin to the underworld. And as I say, we're in a matrix underground, also known as the simulation. The construct, if you've seen Star Trek, the holodeck, our lives are run in a construct very similar to that. So you can get to the surface, you'll find that that's worse. You know, if we get freedom, mankind, we will return to the surface. You know, we'll return to harmony with, well, I made a film about ley lines, and ley lines are important. Earth energies, you know, we've only scratched the surface in our current lives. So I could talk for a minute longer. The Nordics, so yeah, the reptilians, the Draconians, they've been following the Nordics around the galaxy for eons. So they're like stuck onto mankind. The Nordics are closer to men than they are. If you've seen any of the depictions, you know, on the internet, the Draconians, you will say to yourself, they're aliens. That offends them, of course, because they came along to Earth and through some form of, this is like fiction. Yeah, they engineered mankind, you know, what do they call that? Splicing, genetic manipulation, anyway, whatever the term is, they will tell you that they were here before us. Of course, in an ideal world, there would be a resolution, some form of compromise, because we're not against the reptoids. I mean, life isn't bad. There's a lot of fun to be had out there. I'll probably wrap up. Thanks for tuning in. Namaste. Restart.